Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Steve Matthews and today is May 14th of 2021. You can find me on YouTube under Teeth of the Lamb, one word, or on Facebook under Steve Matthews and also under Teeth of the Lamb. I'm coming to you today from the southwest coast of Oregon, United States, which borders the Pacific Ocean, and going to be doing a distance test with a lighthouse from Cape Arago, 33.29 miles away, to Cape Blanco.
I got a picture of it when it's up on the wake and down in the trough.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. I love that guy. So to get started here, 33.29 miles from Cape Arago to Cape Blanco Lighthouse. And right along the Oregon coast here, bordering the Pacific Ocean, Cape Arago is to the north and Cape Blanco is to the south. And you can see that's kind of a coved area. You can also see where the water drops off much deeper as you go not too far out from the coast. There's a big shelf out there. Excuse me. It's actually quite a little distance. It takes me about an hour to drive on the road down to Cape Blanco. Now, there are probably literally thousands of these curvature tests that have been done. I've been working on this one now for a year or two, and just waiting for proper weather conditions and stuff to get the right shots. There's a tremendous amount of fog here, and there's also an awful lot of atmospheric haze from the waves and agitation of the water. As you can see, the cliff where my staging area is Cape Arago, and it's about 100 foot high. Now, I've taken shots from 100 feet, 30 feet, and then I went down to 11 feet. Now, these are the actual locations that I stood, set up my tripod, and you can see here Cape Blanco viewed from 100 feet. The distance is 33.29 miles. Now, I can see the lighthouse. You can see it standing there to the right, and then there's a tower to the left. I can also see the 200-foot cliff. The tower is, I think, 56 feet or something like that tall. But I can't see all of the cliff. And there are reasons that could be, and it's not curvature. One is wave shoaling. In fluid dynamics, wave shoaling is the effect by which surface waves entering shallower water change in wave height, kind of like tsunami effect. And you can see in this diagram that as the waves get close into the shallow water, they actually raise. Now, a ship could be out in the ocean. It may not even feel that a tsunami or the wave force coming under it. But when it hits the beach or shallow water, it raises in height, kind of like we see here. But anyway, this is probably part of why I lose part of the cliff. I'm not going high enough to get a perspective view, to counter the raising of the water itself. That's one possibility, and it's a real one. You can see that the darker water here is much deeper than the shallow water along the coast, and then the waves go in and they raise up. So all of the water along that area where the yellow line is raised. By how many feet, I don't know. As you can see, Cape Arago is 100 feet high, and I verified that with my altimeter, and I came up with 94 feet, and it varies between 94 and 100. Then I went down to Cape Blanco, where the lighthouse is, and verified its height. Now, the cliff is said to be 190 some feet tall, and this corresponds with that because I was up from the edge of the cliff. Now, on the internet, you can get some of the data, and it lists the tower height at 59 feet, and the focal height is 256, which is combined cliff from the water to the top of the lighthouse. And so you subtract that and you come up with a 197-foot cliff. Now the diagram shows you the focal height from the water to the top of the lighthouse. Cape Blanco's cliff, 197 feet, lighthouse 59, total of 256. And that concurs with the stated height of the lighthouse. So we verified it with altimeter and internet. So we've got the heights are right. At one point they had the Cape Arago listed at 200 and some feet, and somebody called me out on that on a previous video, and they were right. They had it wrong, but I knew that cliff wasn't 200 and some feet high. But anyway, we've got it verified now. Total focal height, 256 feet. The lowest point that I was able to film the lighthouse was 11 feet. And at 33.29 miles, that's 313 feet that should be behind the supposed curve, which doesn't exist, by the way. And here's a picture of the lighthouse from the beach at Cape Blanco. And here it is from Cape Arago, as seen through the camera. Now I used a ruler to verify that I don't see all of the cliff. It looks like I see the 59 feet of the tower, and then probably missing about 78 feet of the cliff. And you can see the two comparisons here. The bottom is the actual photo from the beach of Cape Arago, and you can see I can see the whole cliff and the lighthouse. But the ruler on the top one is the distance photo, and I'm missing part of the bottom. So I clearly don't see all of the cliff. And there are reasons that could be. But one needs to bear in mind that I should not see any of the lighthouse or any of the cliff at any time because of curvature. And you can see that it should be minus 313 feet at 11-foot eye height. I'll go ahead and play one of my Zoom tests here, and then we'll talk about another reason why maybe some of this is not visible, the 78 feet that we were talking about. it's a little difficult to locate the lighthouse sometimes. And many times I get more obstruction from atmospheric interference than others. This day it wasn't too bad, but I don't see as much of the lighthouse here either. Definitely seeing the lighthouse though. Now, some of the other reasons, other than shoaling and wave height and atmospheric compression, some of the other reasons might be a little test that Rob Skiba did with the sun, where he demonstrated perspective on his magical curved table, as I'm going to do right here. And you'll see that things disappear from the bottom up. Now, people have demonstrated this other times on roadways and stuff too, but take a look at this. Come back.
You might have trouble getting this sent to your phone. Might be too big.
Just airdrop it.
Oh, I can hear it there. Hold on, wait, no, I can go.
You ready? Okay, you gotta show the table too. I'm coming back.
I'll take 2 videos then.
Come back.
You might have trouble getting this sent to your phone. Might be too
Why?
big.
Just airdrop it.
Oh, I can hear it there.
Now, when I watch this, I just can't help but to think in my mind that somebody who understands perspective is trying to deceive us into thinking that perspective is causing curvature, or that we're seeing curvature when we're not. Now, it's entirely conceivable that my height may not be sufficient to overcome that loss of from the bottom up that you see on the table. My magical table, by the way. So, as my height increases, I should see more of it, which, kind of understandable. That's why we can see mountains hundreds of miles away. But you have to increase your height. There are a lot of
4 feet.
a lot of naturally occurring things that are being twisted to deceive people into thinking that it's something else. And, not all of us have paid a lot of attention to this stuff, and so we can be deceived. Personally, I don't like it when somebody tries to deceive me, because there's always a nefarious reason to lie. And so you can figure out why they're lying and all that. I've got my own ideas, but you know that my table isn't really magical, that it was a flat surface, and you figure it out for yourself on that part. But I'm seeing the lighthouse, and there are a lot of reasons why I don't see all of it, but remember, I shouldn't see any of it, because there are standard formulas that are accepted for curvature, and it just simply does not exist. And this is proof of it. 300 and some feet should be hidden here. 300 and some feet. That lighthouse, the top of it should be behind a wall of water. So that's incredible. Not surprising. I've seen the powers to be lie about just about everything. So I'm not surprised that they lie about this. Now at 100 feet, my horizon should be 12.25 miles away, but I'm going all the way out to 33.29 miles. And that's not supposed to be possible on a ball. At 100 feet, that lighthouse should be obscured by 39 feet. And yet I see the lighthouse, I see a good portion of the cliff, and you shouldn't see any of it. So a man 6 foot high standing on a beach has a visible horizon of about 3 miles. So we're going to go to the 30-foot height where I took a video of the lighthouse, and at 33.29 miles away from a viewing height of 30 feet, we should have 215 feet obscured, but, well, actually hidden. 215 feet over the top of the 259-foot focal height of the lighthouse. And so that's a total of 471.24 feet obscured over that 33 miles, according to the curvature, if there was any. But I clearly still see the lighthouse. And this was not one of the better atmospheric conditions for this day. So I didn't really get a good shot of it, but I got it. So I want to take another look at Cape Arago and my viewing area, because there's a placard there that marks and commemorates that location. And that's where I took my GPS reading. And you'll see here where it is, right where the arrow is. And there's a picture of the placard. But I took that GPS reading right in front of this. And it was, I think, right around 100 feet high. So to confirm the height of that, it looks like I rounded a little bit high, but 100 feet, still there's no way there's any curvature. And 200 feet at Cape Blanco. So at 11 feet, to recap here, that lighthouse should be obscured by 313 feet of water, I guess. It should be behind that curve. And here's the video of that from 11 feet high. And then at 30 feet, it should be obscured by 215 feet of water. It should be behind a wall of water that high. And then here is the video of that. the atmospheric conditions kept changing on me, and sometimes I can't even get a shot of it. So at 100 feet, it should still be hidden behind a 40-foot wall of water. As your visibility increases as you get higher at distance. So there you have it. Have a great day, and this is just one of thousands of zero curvature tests, and so I just thought I'd throw this into the mix and share it with you. Like and subscribe if you want, and if you don't want to, then don't. Have a great day, and thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.